Good morning. I hope you guys are all doing good. Today is my late day, which is wonderful. But I will say this, okay? First of all, the information that I pulled up on my last two videos related to Lucin, Montello, and Box Elder County in Utah, all of that information is accurate. It's good information. There's not anything wrong with it. And there are, I don't know what is actually taking place, but it does seem like there are an awful lot of trolls that are surrounding the Dylan Rounds YouTube videos that are being made for related to the Dylan Rounds case. It seems like it's attracting a great deal of troll attention. So initially, there's a lap over between Nevada, Utah, and Idaho. Also, Monkey, the little boy that we're missing in Idaho, his case too is attracting a bizarre amount of Chris Watts type of troll activity. So I think it's really interesting. The other cases that I've been talking about don't get any of that foolishness. But if I put up a video on Dylan Rounds, the weirdos come out. So I don't know if it's one person who's just trying to run around and try to be the authority on the Dylan Rounds case, and we all know who that might be. I don't know if it's him with sock accounts, but I don't know who's doing it or why. But I did actually stay up. I made phone calls to the sheriff's department and to Utah State, and the information that I had put up on the sex offender problem in Box Elder County, Montello, and Lucin are accurate. There are no registered offenders in Box Elder County that are unaccounted for, that should be registered there, but they can't find them, or perhaps they moved. I'm going to tell you what, when you look at Utah and you look at the number of sex offenders that have Guatemala, South America, your jaw will drop. Your jaw will hit the ground. And maybe I'll do a video on that. But the point being that even though little stupid comments, Box Elder, Lucin, they do not have a sex offender problem. Now, there may be sex offenders there, but I mean in terms of registered sex offenders. And I did go back and listen to the videos that the shows that colorful PI guy is appearing on. He is clearly stating, with no question at all, he is clearly stating that there are 70 registered sex offenders. It took him 3 seconds to find that information, or 80 sex offenders, something like that. Took him 3 minutes to find that information in a town with 2. What does that tell you? It tells you that, they put this kid in the middle of a hot box of obscenity and degradation. Okay, that's just simply not true. If you look at Salt Lake City, if you look at Monticello, then you do actually get up closer to those numbers. And I'm wondering, did the website that he was using, did it reset? When you type in Montello, did it reset to Monticello? I noticed that on one of the websites that I tried to use, House something, and which is why I said, you know what, this is stupid. I went straight to the state. I checked the state website, the actual registry, offender registry, and then I started calling and talking to people on the phone to verify that what I was saying was accurate. Also, I can't find a record for Troy Wadsworth as a sex offender. I don't find a record for Kurt Wadsworth as a sex offender. There is a Scott Wadsworth that is he was in Utah, and he's relocated now to somewhere. Let me think a minute. Relocated perhaps to Idaho, I think, Idaho. Don't quote me on that though, because I can't. But he was in Utah. He was one of those that was on the list that was that was unaccounted for. And he was unaccounted for, and he is registered to, I believe it's Idaho. And now, is Scott Wadsworth, is that Troy? I don't know. It possibly, because I didn't spend any time like searching who is Troy Wadsworth. But what I wanted to verify, because it's been such a just a huge topic of conversation, that Lucen and Montello are these, cauldron of, human man-eaters, and what a irresponsible, horrific thing it was to put him out there. And it's simply just, I don't know. I don't live there. I've never traveled there. I think maybe Gonzo's been there. I might talk to him and ask him. But in terms of registered sex offenders, there are not 70 or 80 registered sex offenders. It's just simply not. It's not true. It's not true. I 100% verified through the actual sex offender registry for the state of Utah, the government. As for Frank, listen, Frank, I'm suspecting that you're another sock account, but you would be wrong about it being against the law to talk about the sex offender registry and what you find on that map. You're wrong. The way the website direction, and I can't remember the number of the law, but it does state clearly that you can't use the information to harass or intimidate individual offenders. Here's a news flash, Frank. I'm not so sure about your IQ, but here's a problem, okay? The registry is there for people to be informed. The registry is there so that people will know where it is safe and where it is not safe. That's why it's there. There's no special protections for sex offenders. I didn't pick a sex offender out of the list and make a hit piece on him. I didn't show his photographs and say, oh, go after him. This is a bad dude. I didn't do any of those things. I said the name. I pulled up the site. I said the name, and I said, here's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I didn't do anything. So I don't know. I suspect who you are. But you just made yourself look stupid again, which you tend to do on a daily basis. All of you, I'm going to sue. Okay, do that. It's okay. You may sue. You may call police all you want, because no one is afraid of you. Everybody's weary of your shenanigans. Okay. So maybe I woke up too early this morning. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe I'm just feeling a little bit snarky, but mostly I don't appreciate, when you put information out there, you work to verify that it's the right information. And then you have people come in and say, oh, you're wrong. In my world, that requires due diligence. A second, third, fifth time, if so be it. So to say, you're wrong when you put this up, then that means whatever I've planned to do goes right out the window, because now I've got to dig back in and re-verify and make sure that I didn't misstate something. I did not. There are 84 in Salt Lake City, 84 per 10,000 sex offenders. State average is something like 15% in any given location. No. Lucin, Montello, they're not a den of iniquity for sex offenders. So I don't know why this is so important to someone out there. I don't know who you are, but there's someone out there that this is important to you to keep this narrative going. And I'm telling anybody that wants to listen, I called the state. The information that is showing up on the Utah State Sex Offender Registry is accurate. There are other websites that are misstating the statistics, or the way they've chosen to report the statistics are inaccurate. The graphs are not, they're not good. They're not best practices. The way we would do a chart. It almost looks like to me that maybe someone, maybe it was a hobby and they put together a website. Maybe it could have been college. Somebody from college trying to learn how to aggregate information. That may have been a project that they did. But if you go to the sex offender site for the state, for the government of Utah, you're going to find out that what I said is accurate. All right. So that's that. Sorry, it's a little bit early for all that foolishness. I don't know what's happening right now. There was a huge drama that happened last night, not in a completely different community. I had never heard of the community before. That group of people, I don't know who they are.